Hey, hang on out there, YouTube land. Welcome back to the Hex Lay Show. We're like jamming on the hex.com. The future of money is here, everyone. 40% interest per annum, 100% uptime, triple audited, 2021, 2020, the best performing asset, digital asset in the world. Hex.com, get on over that. Have a look. How you going, day 43? Welcome back. It's good to see you.
How you going, mate? How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Living the dream.
How's the hex price, mate? How is the hex price?
It's like,
it is.
It's great. What can you say
unbelievable.
about it?
I can't believe
phenomenal.
We're in the 20s. We're 20, what are we, 24 cents? We were like 26 cents like earlier today.
I know, it's amazing. Amazing.
I can't believe it. And
beautiful to
like
watch.
the way it's going, we are still so early. Still so early.
I know.
Not even 2 years in,
right? What a journey. Hope you're all doing it out there, wherever you are in the world, and you're joining us. I hope you get a lot out of the conversation we had. We're all about the number one performing digital asset in the world, Hex Crypto. If you're already involved in crypto, like get your little FOMO pants on and run on it. If you haven't got any, get some. Go on, get it now. You definitely need to get it. It's phenomenal. So yeah, we're going to bring everyone up, mate. What do you reckon? We bring her on. Bluey, how are you, man? Sammy, what's going on? We got Mr. Tangi. Oh, Jex and Tangi. Oh, look at that.
Got the whole crew.
Everyone, how you going?
Full house.
Wonderful.
Hey, you guys were streaming earlier today for ages.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you guys stream for?
Is that a 25-cent stream or something?
We got cut off part way, so I think it was like an hour and a bit and then 3 hours and a bit.
Oh, really?
It was meant to be the 25-cent stream, but we never really got there. Did we just get there?
We've been and gone, mate.
Gone.
Been and gone. Yeah.
We're on our way
blitzed
back
25.
We're on our way back up because we're just about 24 again. So
did we get an hourly close above?
Let's have a look.
You'd be spewing if you sold your hex at around 5 cents, wouldn't you? You'd be like wrecked as. Imagine that. Wrecked hex sellers.
we haven't quite
chat. We might get a few trolls tonight.
We haven't quite had the hourly close above 25 from looking at the chart I'm looking at.
Yeah, same here. 24.9 or something like that.
Yeah, which is still not too shabby, but a blast up to 26. Got to be happy with that.
Hey, massive shout out to the chat. We love you guys. You're awesome. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat and we'll try to answer them.
Definitely. Thank you.
I don't know where you guys want to kick off. I've got a little bit of interesting analysis, I guess we could call it, to have a look at. So if there's nothing you want to jump into straight away, I'm happy to kick it off with that, and we can
do it.
Let's
get it rolling.
Mate. Let's do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll set it up now. A shout out to Lawrence from DWG. He's been doing a bit of work in the background, doing some number crunching. So this is his spreadsheet, and he showed me this afternoon. So I've had a quick look at it. Hopefully I do it justice for you, mate. I know you've put a lot of time and energy into it. So I'll see if we can have a bit of a chat and see what interesting things we can find out about all things Hex. I'll just bring that up. There we go. All right. So Lawrence is a bit of a numbers man, and he was just interested to see how long. So first of all, how many times Hex has doubled and how long in between each doubling on average. So what he's done here is he's put a lot of manual work into this as well. But this section up the top, just because of the big payday event, he has he's precluded that for this top section, but we'll go into that in a bit more detail just because it throws out the numbers a bit with the big payday event. But since the big payday event, if I'm reading this correctly, the number of doublings is 5, and in between days to double is 47.6. So number of doublings per year is about 7 doublings per year, which is not too shabby. And then over here, he's actually gone through and taken from our almost our low. So he's done this on the 5th of January. And then he's gone through and manually found the dates where it's doubled. So 21 days for the first double, 6 for the second, and so forth, till we get up to here. And then I believe he's taken this average to get it that 47.6. So long and short, if you had to put $1,000 into Hex, it would now be worth $4 million if you could have held it from almost the beginning of January through to where we are now. So that's not too shabby. That's a pretty remarkable effort. And so then what we've done today, while we're having a bit of a chat, we thought, okay, well, let's just take it a little bit further and let's see if we can take that average. So if we think it's going to double on average every 47 odd days, let's extrapolate that out and see where that gets us. And so interesting enough, so if we run true to that form, the next doubling will be on around the 17th to the 10th, so sort of mid-October, and that would put us at around about the 50% mark from where we are currently. If we keep taking that out further, so end of year gets us to almost $1. And there's been a lot of people that have said the dollar mark would be pretty reasonable by the end of this year. So it is sort of falling in line with that. What was really interesting was at the end of, so basically October next year puts Hex, if it keeps true to form, at about $126 per Hex. That is pretty crazy. And so if we continue to keep that momentum up and that sort of growth, that sort of doubling pace, that's pretty crazy. And I don't think too many people would have been expecting that so early.
That's one of the questions, Jax. I'm getting that now. Is it going to continue on that trajectory, or is it like going to flatten out somewhere, or what? I know it's got a crystal ball, but it's just been phenomenal. So
okay, well, it depends. It depends whether you think we have hit that hockey stick moment or not yet.
All right.
So if we don't think we've hit that hockey stick moment, and as everyone's saying, pre-viral, if we are truly pre-viral, then that's within the realm of possibilities. If we haven't gone through that hockey stick, yeah. So pretty interesting to pull it apart and see where it leads. And the numbers are just crazy. They're batshit mad numbers.
That's the great thing about
was it $126? Was it
$126? Yeah. Now
the value proposition is there. There's always meat on the bone.
Sorry, what was that? Day 43.
Sorry.
How far away was that? That 126.
That was October, so mid-October next year.
Wow.
I mean, you look at it. I mean, can you it's hard to visualize in your mind, but you've seen the last 12 months where, as you said, Jax, it's like a $1,000 investment is now worth $4 million if you timed it perfectly.
That's right. And now the reality is not everyone done that, and everyone came in a little bit later, or they eased in a little bit because it was all pretty new, and it's very hard to catch the very, very bottom.
Or sold a bit along the way.
Or whatever you've done. Whatever you've chosen to done. But those are the facts. That is reality. That's what has happened. So when you look at these numbers and you think that's pretty crazy, I'm pretty sure if you had told someone, if you only chucked in $1,000, it would turn into $4 million, they would have laughed at you.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have
exactly.
Okay,
a little bit over a year.
I've had to ring people and tell them that. Yeah.
Okay. So now do you want the kicker?
Yes.
That doesn't include staking.
Oh yeah,
what?
true. Oh yeah,
Wow.
true.
So it's pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be what depending on how long you like.
Cool.
What would you get in 1 year? You're getting 13% if you stake for the 1 year.
Yeah, give or
What
take.
is it
Yep.
in that 1 year? About 13%.
Yep.
There is a massive range in the amount of days that it takes to double. Like that 47 days, like the smallest, but there was a couple of twos in there. Like it just took 2 days to double, and then there were a couple of ones where it was up like 150 days or something. Hey?
Yeah, 178 days. So we had that really big long flat period there.
So I guess over time you'd be able to track what the moving average is.
Yeah.
So that's something like that.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I want to keep this, and we'll come back and revisit every so often and just see how it sort of plays out and see if we can keep that sort of momentum up, which would be pretty insane. Although you look at Staker app.
This is the most. Sorry.
And the rate at which new stakers are coming into the system is accelerating real fast.
Yeah.
It was only the other day we cracked 50,000, and I checked it. I haven't got it. So I think I checked it earlier on today, and it was 50,500, I believe. So it is moving pretty quick.
Hey, Jexa, where could people see that chart? Is that something that's available for people to look at?
It's not, but I'll.
It's not?
I'll have a chat to the guy who created it, and if he's happy for it to go out there, I'm sure we can get it out there somehow. Yep.
Otherwise, you can just when this stream is over, you can just rewind. Screenshot it.
There's another tab we'll go through. There's another tab we'll go through in a second and check that out. So I checked Staker this morning, and it was 50,500 and something. Now it's end of the day 50,648. So that's 100 odd extra stakers in less than 24 hours.
Whoa, that's
So
new. That's new staking addresses, not stakes. That's new.
That's stakers. So
stakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the most intense.
That's intense.
This is like the most intense social science experiment.
Mm.
Where you just kind of go, okay, we're going to just make these people ridiculously wealthy through society and see what they do with it. It's just we really can't comprehend what's going to happen. That the more and more years that this goes on, it's just going to be kind of we're not going to be able to talk in the same terms almost.
No, it's wonderful. I mean, you're already looking at numbers that are kind of I don't know. It's like it's almost a mindset shift. You've got to you're working with bigger numbers now than what you were previously.
Let's put it in perspective. If you got into Bitcoin at $3,000 at the bottom of the last market, last bear, and rode it up to its top this time, you'd be feeling pretty chuffed, I'd imagine. Has some pretty stellar returns. Definitely. So that's still doing that 11, 12 years later. So there is...
Wow.
We just don't... I don't think people grasp how early they are in HEX.
And the
even
stakes
now.
help people to not dump too early.
So it's just rocket fuel under that. Yep. It's rocket fuel behind it.
And for the individual, it means that you're more likely to get that situation that Blue Bum was saying, where people actually do get insanely wealthy rather than bailing too early.
Yep,
that's right.
Yep.
You can see Rex.
So it does everyone a favor.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the network gets a benefit and the individual gets a benefit.
Okay, do you want to bring up my screen again, because this is tab 2? We'll see.
Oh, just before you move on, I just want to make very quick comments. $127 sounds insane.
Does.
Comment 2, anything less than $1 million is FUD.
Well, the bar's been set now, hasn't it?
I'm wrecked. Have you got a link?
I was sending it. Sorry, I meant to send it before.
Yep.
You know, actually,
guys, we have a special guest on tonight.
I thought she was sleeping. So
really?
I didn't want to.
Yeah, we do. We have a special guest. So you know the
The thumbnail
That's
day
it.
43 live.
That's the
mate.
word I was looking
Come
for.
on. That's
You
that's-
introduce.
that's-
You
I
introduce.
really like
on
that.
that.
Unrex.
I really like that. I like I guess what we call that. I don't want to say what generation we are, but we will certainly get the ACDC reference on the thumbnail, mate. And
We're practically boomers when it comes to crypto because we're not in NFTs.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, jeez. Hey, do you like my hexes? Do you like my hexes in the back of here? Look at this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, look at that. I've got all these different
You've been
shapes,
busy.
it does all this stuff. Hey, look.
That is
How good's
awesome.
How good's that?
Hey, Jexa, do you mind? Maybe we should come back to what you've got to
Yeah,
show
sure, mate.
later on.
Yeah, happy to.
And
Let's go.
just so that once Chloe gets on. But yeah, so guys, how about that video that Kyle put out about the bridges?
Oh, so complex, hey?
Yeah. But at the end, he was talking about there's the solution at the very end. Like if you make it through the first 20 minutes, right? In the last minute and a half, he's like, there's stuff like it's just there's not a working example of it, but there's documents of a solution, and maybe that's what they're going to be working on. So it will be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, it'll be a different process. That'll have to go through a big testing process. Like you can't make no admin key bridge and then have it fuck up.
That's
Like,
right. Yeah.
No, because hey, I got a question. Just with the no admin key bridge, does that kind of in some way solve like any scalability EVM compatible chains would have? I mean, if you can just create a bridge and then people can just spin up a new like blockchain and you can just like swap across everything, it's like what scalability problem is there from like what is the scalability problem?
Doesn't the bridge
there?
still have to be operated manually though? So even though it's trustless, you would still need manual interaction when it comes to bridging?
I think at the moment that's the issue because there isn't an example of a admin keyless bridge, a functioning admin keyless bridge.
But you wouldn't think it would need manual intervention.
But I'm saying, say even just acknowledging it on your hardware wallet. So say you were behind a hardware wallet, I don't think it could just go and bridge across to something else without you accepting the transaction, like approving the transaction.
You'd have to sign a transaction for sure.
Yeah,
it's a contract.
So that would be the limitation that stops it from being able to just be used as like an automatic scaling solution. Is that it would stop when you need to sign the transaction.
Yeah, you're right. But I guess the point I'm trying to make, it's sort of, it just means that if something is crap over here, you just go, oh, let's just tip over here, or it's not a real scaling solution.
Can interact, and so if you have another product and you want to create a chain for that's for more scaling, then you just create a chain with your 33 validators or whatever. That's a much lower cost and a much relatively easier thing to do, you would imagine, than as a scaling solution. And then you can just add, because then people can jump to whatever.
I think everyone's been so focused on one project's going to rule everything and it's going to take over, and it's not going to happen. The whole ecosystem at some point in time is going to have to learn to play in the same sandbox. And
interoperability.
Yeah, and all that, the tribal bullshit that we go on through now, it's actually harming everyone. Like it doesn't move the space forward at all when everyone's at each other.
You know what? It's everyone rearranging the deck chairs on the rocket ship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Everyone's
that's if you got Hex. That's if you got Hex.
Everyone's going to do well.
If you got Hex, you better go out and buy some.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's musical chairs on the rocket ship?
Yeah.
So even if you think you lost, you're still actually going to the moon?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you can make plenty of mistakes, but for these people who have just done this big scattergun approach and have just picked a bit of everything and they're going to hold it, I think they'll be fine. I think that they'll be fine. Like they won't do as well as just having hex or whatever, but
Hang on.
don't know.
Here. Special guest tonight, Crocodile Dundee. It's not Crocodile Dundee, it's Crocodile Dun Wrecked.
Mate. Oh, sorry about that.
Hey mate,
Beauty.
I can I just tell you guys, we actually bought a knife not too long ago. It's a beautiful knife. It was half price at the shop, but it's this beautiful Japanese thing that you can just fill it. It's very, cut your steaks in half if you want. If you don't want a really thick steak, you can just cut it in half like that. Beautiful, beautiful piece of metal. I haven't seen many knives like that in my time.
That's not a knife. That's not a knife, mate. That's a knife.
That is a knife.
I'm going to cut me some watermelon with that. Hey, everybody wants some watermelon? The juicy watermelon there, look. Drop.
Are we allowed to show knives on stream? I think
beautifully sliced.
If you're cutting watermelon,
cooking with unwrecked.
It's a cooking show, isn't it?
I did a cooking show.
The uncooking show. It's the uncooking show. They're beautiful. They just grow. These things just grow off a vine out of the ground. Delicious.
Love it.
So yeah.
So have we got our guest coming in or what? What's the deal?
I think
she was typing something before. I don't know where she's gone. I might have scared her off. I do that sometimes.
Do you want to keep going with this spreadsheet then while we're waiting?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Might as well fill a bit of time. There's not much more to go anyway. So
tell us what if on average 46 doubling, where does it go in 2035?
I didn't go that far.
Okay. You're too scared, were you?
Yeah. I didn't think anyone needed this. Well, it goes to 1 million. We know that now.
Yeah.
We're going to need bodyguards.
All right. So this one here, this was showing the average, the quarterly increase that we've seen so far. That's my phone beeping, telling me that we're up to 24 cents. All right. So we did have a quarter that was a little bit lower than the rest. Obviously, that would have been that flat period we spoke about before. But on average, we're in triple-digit quarterly increases. What was interesting down here is, so Ethereum, and I'm not sure how this number was derived here. This is probably a little bit low for Ethereum starting price. But I guess that's not the highest it went either. So that's probably a fair assumption. So over 10 doublings over 6 years for Ethereum. Bitcoin's had over 12 doublings over 9 years. I think that's probably the incorrect number. These numbers are a little bit low. And Hex has already done 11 doublings in 20 months. So I think we could arguably change these. I didn't really check all these numbers before I came on stream, but I think if you took Bitcoin from starting off at 1 cent, that would dramatically change that. So that would give us plenty more room for more doublings and still not have achieved what Bitcoin had. And yeah, we could probably tweak these numbers and chuck in a few more doublings on ETH as well. So maybe what I'll do, I hadn't really had a good look at those numbers. Maybe what I'll do is rejig those with the actual figures where we from the starting price to where it all-time high was, and we'll check in on those again. I might be able to do that while we're on stream as well, just so people can get a gauge. But regardless, Hex is motoring along, 11 doubles over 20 months. These guys we're talking this stuff over multiple years. So it is, it's in first class on the rocket ship, and everyone else can arrange their chairs on the lower decks. That's pretty much it for that spreadsheet.
Well, that's very interesting. It's good data. It's actually really good data. That's and like we could talk about. I watched a lot of the streamers, and shout out to the guys that are putting into doing the streams, the technical analysis, and the mathematics, and the way that the different sort of people analyze that data set, that blockchain for Hex. It's the share curve is almost like the price is always guaranteed to follow the share rate, and that we know that the share rate always ratchets up against the the stakes ending, the profit taking from the early stakes ending, to ensure that the longer pays better bonus is true. And it's quite a complex formula and everything like that. But look, it's been working 100% uptime since the beginning. There's a lot. I mean, what's something like over $15 billion worth of value of staked hex. That's phenomenal. I mean, is that not a like a guarantee? Like, there's no guarantees in life, but isn't that like a pretty strong, confident signal to say, hey, maybe this thing's worth a look at. Maybe you should have a look at it, because look at the belief in the system.
Sammy, you know roughly how much available hex is out there, don't you?
Yeah, 70 odd million, I believe.
Yeah, about 74 million, I think it was.
I found out where you can find out on that hexdailystats.com.
Oh, okay, that's Ryan's.
Ryan's website.
Okay, let me have a look at that one. Hexdailystats.
Oh, the daily data, yeah. Shout out to Ryan too. I think he's having the time of his life. He's basically, he's a lot of the early hex investors have done remarkably well, without a doubt.
What's that? What is that website? Hex Daily Stats, is it?
I can't remember.
Oh, who tweeted it?
Yeah, hexdailystats.com.
Right.
I really enjoyed seeing one of the OG Hexicans post a tweet that said, "Hey guys, I'm looking for this Lamborghini Aventador. Any help to get one, even new or low case, would be really appreciated. I'm getting it to give to someone as a gift." And it's like next level. Like, people think crypto ballers is buying a Lambo. This is like giving one away. It's like new level.
Wow. I don't doubt it at all. Not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that is actually a fact. It's amazing.
I think Sammy told me it was Overwatch, wasn't it, Sammy?
Yeah, it was Overwatch. Looking for one for his friend. What a nice friend he is.
So we've actually dropped underneath 70 mil hex. It's at 69 million.
That is such a little amount. So that's like one, not even a.
Where are you seeing that from?
Hex on Hex Daily Stats, and you look at it's in liquidity, and it's got liquidity pool hex and liquidity.
Oh,
pool.
yeah. I'm
pretty sure that's that's the addition of all the liquidity pools.
Right. Okay. So 69 million hex.
Yeah.
That's not much. What's that?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's the stat there.
Yes, that's like $28 million.
Really? Is that all? My God, that could get brought up.
At the current price, though, at the current price, to eat that all up, remember that some of that is spread out at prices that are much higher. You know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it is. Yeah. At current value, if you were able to buy it like all say OTC at the current price, then that would be the amount it would cost.
Yep, and understand a lot of that is sitting down at 5 cents as well. In that,
I think it's gone.
Liquidity. That's all gone, is it?
I think it has. Can we look at the?
No, the liquidity pool's still saying 27 mil or 28 mil, so that's got to be there. I think it's just hidden in the background.
Oh, right.
Cell walls coming up, Jex?
It looked like it had thickened out, to be honest. Like we had a real narrow section there where there was a real concentration of the liquidity, but it looks like that's spread out a little bit more now over a wider price band.
So hang on a minute. It's the last day of winter, isn't it? It's not Christmas comes early in Hex, is it, today? That's what it feels like. You know?
This winter's been long and disgusting. I can't wait.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the first day of spring, and that gives me a few really good ideas.
It's going to be warm today.
Continue
Victoria too. Tomorrow.
Yep. We've crashed, have we? Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's loading now.
Yep.
Man, Aussie internet's so shit, isn't it?
I don't know what's up with this website. Other websites seem to be working okay. It's just okay. So that's what it looks like at the moment.
Right.
So there's a few random buy and sell walls scattered throughout the place.
Yeah.
But generally, the mass of it is still pretty.
Yeah, that's I guess because people can put only one side of a pair in.
So what it means, it's
what is the price on the right hand side of that?
Yeah, so it's
chart?
thicker at a wider concentration, which means the price will be a little bit more stable in that it's not going to flip back and forth wildly as it moves between those bands. But it's still, I think it's still sort of stops at about what's the upper end past that? Yes, that's
so that buy wall's still there.
Buy wall.
That buy wall literally has not moved. It's still at 5.4 cents.
Yeah.
What did you want this price here?
So we start to step down. Yeah, it's about 28 cents or something, isn't it? 29 cents.
29 and a half.
Yeah, so there's a fair bit of
but this is only V3.
Reasonable amount of liquidity there. What's that?
Yeah. But this is only V3.
Yeah, but this is the majority of it though. Most dexters or aggregators route through this.
It's less than half. It's less than half of it.
Really?
Well, if it's 69 million hex.
This value here.
Yeah, so that's 27, nearly 28 million.
Yeah, you're right. Because there's only 16 mil. But then there's the ETH pool as well, which I don't know how much that's in it.
If you go back to
this has got T-share market cap as well.
If you go back to the Uniswap site, the liquidity site, and you just type in hex in the search, it will just show you everything should populate.
You want one of these, or you want this one?
Well, that will just show you.
Here, like TVL.
No, but that's only for V3, so.
Oh, yeah.
Can you say view all? See more down the bottom there.
Oh yeah, good point.
So there's 21.
This drops off pretty quickly.
Yeah. So it's hex USDC and the hex ETH.
Yep.
They're the two.
I don't think there would be. I'm not even sure if people are still using Matic or not. Whether there's anything on QuickSwap over there.
Hey,
I haven't checked that recently.
21 Window asked, "What happens when there is no more hex left to buy?"
Well, on V2,
just goes
we got our guest here, Chloe. How you going there?
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
There she is.
Hey, Chloe, nice to meet you.
Hi, good morning. Nice to meet you. I mean, I guess it's late for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, pretty late.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's so early here.
Well, welcome to the late show.
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah, good.
What time is it there, Chloe?
I'm at 6 a.m.
Oh, no. Just
Yeah.
for the show.
Nice.
Yeah, I did.
Nice and early.
Oh, thanks for joining. Oh, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. I missed part of your chat though.
That's all
That's all
right.
right. We're just
The
doing
beginning,
like
yeah.
a little bit of stuff around talking about Hex. There's lots of things to talk about in Hex. How you going?
Yeah.
Chloe over there? You enjoying the ride, enjoying the journey of Hex so far?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch
Pretty
and
awesome, isn't it?
be a part of, and it's nice to plan everything because everyone's hex flexing and stuff, but mine's just a smidge bit before I can spend some, so I'm planning what to do with it because I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that
So
thumbnail that we did for YouTube, that was a hex flex.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't own the car, so technically it's not, that flexy.
You could own the car though, yeah. You
I
could. Own the
could,
car.
yeah. He's selling it, so I might as well buy it.
You might actually get a discount, hey?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's selling it for cheaper than what it's worth just because he doesn't want to deal with it, the putting money into it and everything, which it doesn't even need anything. They built it from scratch. It's done. So
What's it got under the hood? Do you know?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I'd have to ask.
And what have
Wait,
you got planned for today, Chloe? You
Hmm?
working? You working today or a day off?
Yeah, I work later at 5:30.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And what you got planned for the day? Doing anything exciting? Cooking, exercising?
I don't know yet. Probably maybe go on a walk. I've been trying to go on a walk like a couple times a week, and then I'm gonna try to hit the gym again soon. But it's like hard to get there. I was gonna go last night, but then I was like, but I gotta be up. So I took a nap instead because I got off work at 1, so I slept for like 4 hours. And then
Is that all?
yeah.
Oh
Hey,
my
Chloe.
god.
Hey Chloe, did you what was your your staking strategy for Hex? And did you also like put a bit into the Pulse stack chamber?
I did put a little bit into Pulse that I'm hoping will pay off quite a bit. I think it will. So we'll see when that launches. In my staking strategy, I did a 90-day trial to kind of see how it worked and everything. And it took me, I think, 5 days to like fully understand everything. And I was like, bam, 10 years, I'm going to secure these. And then I was like, well, shoot, I already did the 10, might as well do 15 just because. Then I did 15. And I actually did a bunch of 15s. I pretty much did almost all of my T shares for 15 years because I will never be able to afford them ever. So I did, not even kidding you, probably like 90% of mine as 15 years.
Whoa.
And then I did 3, 5, 8, and 10. So I have 4 other stakes before then. And then I actually do have one for Christmas that's coming out, sitting at like 9K right now, which is awesome. So with Pulse, that should be, well, at the time, will be like 18?
So,
Yeah.
so when you done your first 15-year stake, were you nervous or relieved after you seen it sitting there?
I was a little nervous at first because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Who does this, you know? But then I also work in a casino. So, like, if you think of it in gambling terms, which kind of thought of it that way, I'm like, well, it took me 15 years to lose this money if I lose it, you know, instead of like 15 minutes in the casino. So,
did you at least start them on different dates?
yeah, I did.
Okay,
they're spaced out a little bit, but not much. And I swear to God, I will not demolish the market in the future because I'm not going to sell them. I'm actually, with how many I have, I think I want to do like, I'll probably take like 1 or 2. I don't know. I think they're going to be a lot, you know, they're going to be a lot. So I probably only need 1. And then 1 for myself, at least. And then I'm going to donate money to a bunch of charities. And I can easily do that probably off of another 1, maybe 2. And then I'm going to restake the rest of them, which there's a lot of them. So I'm going to restake them again for another 15 years. At least half of the shares.
By the time they come out, you probably won't need to sell any of them. You just take a little bit of interest and keep going.
Probably not, because like I've got the 10-year one that's gonna be a lot because that was my second stake, and so it's got a lot of shares to it, which I really wish I would have put that 15 years out. And then, but it's still fine, you know, it works out. But I'll have like the 10-year, and I think that one's going to be a lot to like live off of that I don't even need the 15s at the same time. You know what I mean?
That's what makes Hex so rare is no one's in a hurry to sell it. No one needs to sell it. You can do pretty well just off of scraping the interest. That's the way it's designed. And you can keep doing that. You can just keep doing that.
The money works for you. It's like you know, it's actually the money's working for you instead of you working for the money. You got to work it out. You're like, you know, you end up making more money in your sleep. than while you're working. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's the best crypto, and without doubt. And look, just a reminder to the audience, everyone, we've got well over 150, 200 viewers tonight live on the stream. It's brilliant to see everyone in the community putting in and getting the word out and letting people know that hex.com is the next generation #1 performing asset in 2020 and 2021. So, and we're on the Discourse Syndicate network. They've picked up the Hex Late Show from down here, and so it's great to have a guest from the USA, Chloe, and nice work on the thumbnail, young lady. It was
Thank you.
it went down really well. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was cute.
Guys, we've got a question in the chat. Does someone want to have a go at this question? Jexa?
It's 15-year stake.
I would.
What's the best way to give my kids a 15-year stake each?
I think
18 years. I would have thought separate seed phrases.
Separate seed phrases, and I'm probably thinking Staker app would be pretty good, and I'll tell you why. If you want to do it the ultimate gold standard using hardware wallets and things like that, that's fine. But then you've got to take on the management of that, and so if you want to be in that position, that's fine. Then when you chuck in the complexity of Pulse, P-Hex, all those sorts of things that are going to come around, if you want to keep it simple, then I think Staker might actually be a really good tool for that. Obviously depends. Yeah, so if you're going 15 years as well, definitely separate seeds for sure, whether you use a hardware wallet or you use Staker app, you want to do it separately for sure.
Why wouldn't you just like make them know that you've made that stake for this person, know that you made that stake for the other child, and then when they get to that age, you just that's when you set them up with their security and you just send them all of that hex.
Yeah, 15 years is a long time, man. I think you'd want to divide that and just personally, I think you'd want to. Each
child gets a zone account.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you combine them, you get bigger pays better.
Yeah, but you've got to be chucking a lot at it to do that. It's insignificant if you're just doing a normal.
Still get a percentage of
double the amount,
bigger pays better. Yeah.
Well, can I just add?
Think for simplicity, I think Staker app, for simplicity, the user interface, all of that, I agree with you, Jexa. It's probably
it's going to grow with them as well. So
it also depends if you want the
security
kids.
will change along the way.
So you want the kids to be seeing it grow, then Staker app.
So that I've got kids. I've got my own stake set up for my kids, and they like having a Staker app so they can see what's going on as well and keep in touch with it. And
that's really good.
Yeah, they love that.
I think mine are going to start.
Sorry, Sammy, I cut you off before. What were you saying?
All right. I was just going to say, I've got a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old, and I've just made them like out of my wallets because I made like 500 for that MetaMask airdrop. It's supposed to happen.
Did you say 500?
No, only double.
You went on a rampage.
So all I did was just like name one of them for each of them, chuck some hex in there and staked it out and showed them what I was doing and said, look, this is how long we can stake it and should we go for this long? We did about 10 years for both of them. And then I got the little one Staker app. So, but she's not interested. She's 11. They don't care about money, my kids, but they're staked anyway,
Yeah.
And they got a little bit of liquid. So, yeah, they're happy. But, I had a lady ask me on Facebook today, she wants to set up some wallets for her kids. And she said, is she able to do it on a cold wallet? What?
Well, that's just a hardware wallet, yeah. I'm assuming that's what she means by cold wallet.
Well,
other than like a paper wallet or something like that. But.
The beauty of Staker app, and I don't know if you can do this without any issues at the moment, but I'm really sure you'll be able to do this in future. The beauty of the Staker app is the seed phrase that you get that is a seed phrase. That's the ownership of the Gnosis safe, and that can actually be changed. So you can make a different address and owner. So a different seed phrase could be the owner, and then you can remove that. So you can do this on the Gnosis safe side, but whether or not you have issues with the staker app. So I wouldn't suggest it now, but I'm sure that this is going to come on in future.
Yeah, I think version 2. I mean, we've already seen a bit of a teaser from Steph on V2 of Staker app, and it's looking pretty slick. So, and that's just obviously that's the cake decorating side where it looks pretty, and we expect that from these guys now. They're pretty talented, and everything they deliver looks pretty slick. But I think what will be more important is the security aspects and the features that they roll out in V2. That's the stuff I want to see.
Absolutely.
I've heard whispers, and I know some of the contracts that Firebun has written, and if any of those get integrated in any way, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Mental.
Yeah.
And it's something that we repeat a lot is that as the value of the asset increases, so should your operational security, your personal security, and all that sort of thing. Take that stuff really seriously and get it set up right from the start if you can. But, sometimes there's a little bit of trial and error, especially if you're new to crypto. I think a lot of us here and our major audience will recognise that we take a lot of this stuff we take for granted, but I've sat down with people that just really don't know anything, and they're just learning from scratch, and so you have to really be patient with them and run through it slowly and try to get them to at least understand sort of basic concepts and things like that to start with. Don't hit them with everything all in one hit. Like, just take it slow. Yeah.
And maybe just put Hex Machine's comment up.
Hex Machine.
Chloe, can I ask, what was your level of like understanding of all the crypto stuff when you got into it? Like, did you when you got into Hex, I should say, zero?
I knew how to.
So you've been learning on the job.
Hi.
You've been learning on the job.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew how to send from address to address. Basically, I don't know anything about Trezor, right? The cold storage and stuff. I literally have no idea. I'm hoping someone will help me one day.
So roughly, when did you get into Hex? Just roughly, like, were you very early, or we're all early? But
I got in right after the big payday dip.
Okay, cool. Good time to get in.
Well, actually, it might have been a part of the big payday dip, but it was December of last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That was a good time to load up.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
It was awesome.
So what was your experience or your knowledge of crypto before then, and how did you find Hex?
Yeah. Well, I literally, on my last stream, I was saying that I got into like a little situation. And then, so that person that I was talking to, like, was really into Bitcoin, and they were having me buy Bitcoin. And so I was trying to figure out what to do with it. I have like Binance and all these trading things. And I was like looking at it, and I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea what to do with this. And I was getting really scared because I was like, I don't want to like put this in for a trade and then lose it. And like, I really didn't know what to do. And then I'm not sure how I found it, but I found a Johnny Chaos video, and he was ranting, and I was like, okay, well, that makes sense, And so I just was like, all right, well, let's Google this. And then he was going off about people calling it a scam, and I was just dealing with a scam. So I was like, well, I need to figure out like what all these things are before I start, I'm like, so what makes it a scam? And I'm like, none of this makes sense on why it's a scam. And that's why I did the 90 days, because I was like, okay, we'll just see. And then I kept reading and learning and listening, and I was like, there's no way. So if it is, it's freaking great, but like, I don't think it is at all. And I was like, why would anyone want to trade when you just hold it instead? And then on top of that, I was like, this stuff is so cheap and Bitcoin's so expensive. I'm like, one day this will be Bitcoin. It is not today. It's not tomorrow, but one day. And I'm buying it now because I know what it is. Like, I just started going at it.
That's like, congrats to you, because most people
well done.
go to Google, see one shit article and stop.
Yeah.
Or they come back and tell me, no, it's all rubbish, it's a scam. And they haven't bothered to dig deeper. And some people I encourage to say, that's cool. That I understand that's your first thing you've come across. Dig a bit deeper and find out a little bit more. And most people don't go beyond that. So congrats to you for actually going beyond it.
Thank you. Most of the people I try to talk to, even like my parents and stuff, they're like, well, can you cash out? I'm like, well, yeah, but like you set your terms, you know, so like you just gotta wait. And they don't process that. All you gotta do is wait for some reason. And they're like, no, I need it now, you know. And like the waiting part, they're like, yeah, no, I'm good, you know. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you? I don't understand. Just do it. Just wait, you know. But I get all the time, like, can you cash out? I'm like, first of all, this is barely any money. It is a lot of money. It's more money than I'll ever see in my life. But like at the same time, when you're thinking of it deep, I'm like, okay, so there's one nice house here. Okay, cool. That's a house. Like, that's not going to get you very far once you buy it, you know. Then what? Yeah. You know, so it's like you got to keep going, and people don't think like that. They're just like, oh yeah, I got 10 grand in my pocket. And it's like, okay. Like, to me, I'm like, that's my gas tank right now, you know. Like, it's like very small numbers, even though it looks like it's a lot. Like, you're like, yeah, 10 grand. No.
Rob little things, big things grow.
I think everyone on this stream would vouch for the fact that Richard designs things to try and get you to act a particular way, and act in your own best interest. So getting things off of centralized exchanges, delaying gratification, learning how to actually hold something and get out of that trader mentality. And once you start using the system as it's designed, then it gets easier. You understand what is good behavior, because the shitty thing about crypto is most people's first interaction with crypto, even so getting on board, so taking your fiat currency and converting it into crypto, is on an exchange set up for trading. So everyone comes into the market thinking it's a trading game. The reality is it's probably that's the worst way to play the game, especially if you've got no skills, because not only do you not maybe understand the technology, you don't understand some of the projects you're investing in, all the risks, and then you don't understand how to bloody trade anyway, yet you're thrown into the shark tank with an asset that moves at 10 times the rate of everything else.
Let's go and have a look at the chart. We're pumping.
Woo!
Apparently we're pumping. Dan's just being quiet over there in the corner.
He's preparing his mega chart, is he?
I was just going to say we're not here for Lambos. We're here for Lambo dealerships.
Yeah,
definitely. That's it.
So yeah, look, it did pump right up to it pumped to over 25 cents.
Woo!
Damn. Let's go to the 5 minute and see. We'll drill down and see exactly what happened here. Yeah, look, it was 5 minutes ago. It just absolutely pumped.
What chart are you on? You're on Uniswap, are you? I'm on Dex.
Uniswap V2 on Uniswap.vision.
All right. Let's get there.
So yeah, sometimes this chart is slightly different.
It is
to
relentless.
what's going on the other charts like Staker app and stuff like this. But this could actually be starting to form an ascending triangle, because these highs across here are actually pretty evenly height, like even height. You know?
Yep. Yeah, they are too. Crazy. Just keeps going and going. It's a gift that keeps giving.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Life's changing for a lot of people.
So Chloe, Sorry.
You go, Sammy.
You're right.
Chloe, have you bought anything nice with your hex? I mean, look, I haven't really done any big flexes. I bought some AirPods. That's all I really bought. But what about you? You got anything
No.
that you want to share with us?
I haven't bought anything yet. I have no money coming out yet. December, I do. I'm hoping to use a little bit of that in Miami, maybe. I'm like this close to booking a trip. So we'll see. That would be my first thing, but I'm gonna pay some debt off with it first and then go from there because I don't really need anything. I'm kind of already set. Like I just gotta wait, and I'm getting by. So that we'll just call it good there. And
if you have no debts, it's pretty cheap to live. If you have no debt, it is pretty cheap to live. You don't actually need to take big swags of profit unless you're buying toys. It's the only like we don't actually need that much to live.
I don't even have that much debt. I only have like about 20K ish, I think. And that's like with my car and everything. So once that's done, my car is paid off, can get rid of that whenever I need to, But I'm probably going to be taking profit from Pulse more than anything, just because I did stake my hex out like kind of far. So I have the one in December, and then whenever Pulse launches, I'm just going to wait. And since we're starting at 0, right? I think just basically ride it like Hex was, all the way up to whatever's a good amount, and then maybe start using some of that to like get into a new house and like get a few things here and there to at least like level up a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
So do you have a prediction on what Pulse is going to do? X-wise?
I don't really know a whole lot like how you get your X's or anything. So I don't really know.
And anyone else, Day 43 or Bluey or someone want to have a stab? Tangent, you would have done a bit of maths, eh?
I think today we decided 10x straight away
At launch.
between like 1.5 and 2.5x, pretty much straight away, minimum.
Yep.
Anything less than $1 is FUD.
That's going to be a market cap I want to see.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
What was
So
it?
how do you-
What was it for
So
Hex that you guys came up with today? Tangent. What do you guys come up with today? Anything less than what is FUD for Hex?
$1 million.
$1 million per hex.
By 2027.
Oh,
It wasn't us. It was Richard Hart.
Yeah, and what happens in 2035? Like if it's a million in 2027, what's it going to be like in 2035?
Yeah.
Like
the performance is amazing.
It's numbers we can't even, we don't use.
Right?
So
How much
but
would
let's
Coke
not forget
cost?
let's not forget that there's always a value proposition for buying Hex today, tomorrow. So the time to be buying Hex is now, the time to be staking Hex is yesterday, because that share price is always ratcheting up, and we know that there's a correlation between the share price and the coin price. They tend to follow each other, but obviously there's the market machinations and things like that go with it as well. So there's a little bit of up and down, but gee whiz, isn't it?
I had a friend I had a friend come on board 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago you would have thought you were buying top of the market pretty much, or you would have thought I'm too late. It's gone up over 100% already. Like that guy is just over the moon. Like
yeah, there's so many stories like that, Jackson. It's so good, and it actually, I actually feel like, and I had to ring one of my mates during the week and just tell him that, congratulate him and look at this and well done type thing for, putting putting a little bit of money into it. It wasn't a lot of money, but gee whiz, it's a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money now. And so that was a good feeling for me to be able to do that because, you know, and that's through, you know, like it's like that community engagement and all of the, I guess the good behaviours and the great, I guess, group that we've got and there's so much diversity and knowledge and things like that. But to be able to share it with people that, you know, the people that care about and that type of thing, it's just been truly, you know, that's kind of, it's life changing, you know, for people that are hardworking, working class people. Yeah.
Sure.
I was just going to say that quickly that I think Richard's intention with that tweet was more to do with highlighting the gradient that it's currently on and actually making a realistic prediction for the price in the future. He's basically saying if it kept going like the rate that it's been going up lately, if it kept going up like that, it gives you that perspective by exaggerating extending the movement. Because otherwise people look at the price that it is now and they say, oh, like 20 cents is not a lot. It's not huge. So it's showing you the price appreciation in percentage terms because his was on log scale. Yeah. So it's he's talking about like price appreciation in percentage terms, really highlighting that.
Well, I think you get lost in the day-to-day chart, and it's not until you zoom out that you get that perspective. And so even the way it was drawn, so it was just basically right down in the very bottom of the chart, and you could see this stretching out into the years, which is where we're heading. Whereas we're sitting here looking at hourly charts. I
mean, I was on the 5 minute before, wasn't I? Looking for
So we're focusing on this really narrow part of where we are in now, and that's you got to look way beyond that because there's so much more to this.
Right.
Do we know anything?
That's
What's going? Is there anything? Is there anything new happening with Pulse that we need to bring up? Any new developments?
We run that bridge thing to ground. Like, are you guys talking about that? How complex and technical all that stuff is that's going on at the development level? Did we run that to ground, or did we explain why we needed a admin key and how we fixed that need to not need it? Is that something that you guys have knowledge about? Because that's sort of like over my head, that stuff. You know,
it's very complex.
Yeah,
and
I'm confident that there are smart people working on it. Like, I don't want that to sound like I'm being apathetical and being like, I don't need to do anything. They'll work it out. Like, I don't want it to sound like that. But as in, I'm confident in the people who are involved in the team, you know?
Yeah. But so as soon as everyone heard there was some technical issues, everyone's out trying to see if they can find examples of projects that are using bridges without admin keys and just trying to dig out, scan what's going on to see if they can help out as well. Now, they may not understand
the nature of that.
They don't understand the technical details, but they can do a bit of anyone can do a bit of digging and a bit of research and then flick that to the devs and say, okay, guys, this may be an option. So if you think you can't help,
talking about before, that was by TriHex, right?
Chain. They're talking about having another chain to be able to do that, like a chain that can read both chains, like Ethereum and Pulse, like having a separate chain that can do both.
I think what he was saying,
I hadn't heard that
the Pulse validators would also have the full history of the Ethereum nodes, so that they could actually validate the state of the Ethereum network without having to trust
that would be
oracles and stuff like that, which would give you one way. That would give you ETH to Pulse. Obviously, we can't, like, as a Pulse community, we can't necessarily encourage the ETH nodes to also keep a copy of the Pulse chain, but at least you would have trustless one way.
So the idea that I think Kyle put out in that video was there being another chain that would have both Pulse and ETH nodes basically incorporated into one, but it'd be its own chain, and that would
its own chain. Okay.
Yeah, I mean something like that. But I don't think any of this has been tried. I think it's just like it's all theory at the moment.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting stuff, hey?
That isn't a showstopper though. So
No,
there's examples
we
of
have
bridges we can
we have
use.
bridges with some sort of
Yeah.
key. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's bridges we can use which will get us over a hump, get things up and running, and then
When he was talking about that 43, I think, look, it occurred to me, I was like, well, why can't the validators be the validation of the bridge? Why can't they be? Why can't
That's what I
You
was
need
saying.
something. You need something on the ETH side.
Yeah,
if
so it
you
would
have-
only give you one way. If the Pulse validators keep both chain states, ETH and Pulse,
no,
then
but
you can have
my point is that normally other people, other ways of doing this, they rely on an oracle, right? So instead of an oracle,
but that's trusted.
exactly. So instead of so if you're going to have an oracle, why not have like a 33 validating nodes be the people to verify the oracle or something like that? I don't know. I mean, it was all over my head. It's a really interesting talk.
The last couple of minutes of that, like he goes through the explanations. Like the vast majority of what he says for that whole YouTube video is just him explaining why, like A, B, C, D, E, F, like all have problems, or why they won't work, or they all result in needing to trust
It's the history that's required for you to be able to validate the current state requires those previous
exactly
pieces of information. So if you don't have the full chain state, so that's what I'm talking about. If the Pulse validators hold the full Ethereum chain state, so they basically then they don't have that problem.
Yeah, that's kind of because they could check.
But it only works one way. It only works for getting things from Ethereum to
and then
Pulse.
if you have to,
that wouldn't be so bad, would it?
And then you still.
I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, it does mean that the validators have to store quite a lot of info because the Ethereum blockchain is heavy.
Right.
Pulse chain is going to be heavier.
Hang on.
So after he goes through
both ways, why couldn't it go both ways? Why can't they?
Because the Ethereum nodes don't have the Pulse chain state.
No, but it doesn't matter. It's as long as the
it does matter if you want it to be trustless.
No, but But why? I don't understand. If you're going to be trusting these validators,
as you want to bridge the assets across the other way, it'll be. It might be fine. It might be fine for unlocking assets that have been bridged from ETH to Pulse. You could probably bridge them across and bring them back, but you couldn't send new assets that are not being returned. Get what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter. You just increase the liquidity of the bridge. Yeah, but you just increase the liquidity of the bridge, so you wrap up more things so that you can bring stuff back over. I mean, I don't know. We don't.
Well, it's good that.
I don't know
so that's not our showstopper at the moment, but we do have that other issue going on where the node keeps getting frozen, which that seems like that's the critical issue at the moment that they've got to work around.
Oh, I didn't hear about
that. So that tweet.
Yeah, so Richard released a tweet and it showed the actual error. Now, unless you're a dev, you wouldn't know what the hell it's about. But it's just showing that they've got a technical issue that they've got to work through, and I think once they work through that, then that will be public testnet. Then I think seems to be.
Did you see someone's eye? Did you try turning it on again?
Well, it's good that everyone's ready to roll their sleeves up and have a crack, isn't it? And could make a contribution. That's what I like about the grassroots nature of that. That whole collaborative process. That whole collaborative process is worth,
Like they're forking Geth, aren't they? They're forking Geth, or they would like Richard was talking about a different, different software that syncs the blockchain quicker.
Well, there was a bug found in Geth over the last 24 hours, or released, or a public service announcement was released. Yeah. So, this is still anything can happen in this space. You got to remember that. So that's half of Ethereum's running on Geth and had a little glitch there. So obviously it's all picked up and disclosed properly.
Just getting quickly back to that, the bridge. In the last 2 or 3 minutes, Kyle just very, very briefly, he spends the vast majority of the time explaining why it's so tough and why all the problems. But at the very, very end, he talks about the resolution, and it's basically it needs to be fleshed out. It needs to be they need to develop it from scratch because there isn't a working example of it. So
maybe we get an admin key bridge at launch, and then we'll have to wait for the development of that trustless bridge.
Yeah. He was basically saying that with most of the solutions, all you're doing is you're shifting the location of the trust. You're not actually making it trustless.
Yep. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I paraphrase Vince on something that he tweeted? Because you know how hexagons are quite defensive of Hex being the best project because it is the best project. But he was saying we need to, we're not trying to instruct how people behave ever, but it would be a good idea to pump the brakes a bit on the sort of aggression towards other coins because we do need other projects to be on polls, or it would be beneficial to have other projects on polls to increase the amount of activity and that sort of thing, especially with Hex being a lock it and leave type project that's not a high activity style use.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. That whole tribalism thing doesn't actually serve the whole space.
Treat others how you want to be treated yourself, and you'll be fine.
Well, I think I think
gets a bit out of control on there. I just ignore it. But
we can all move together, and because the reason why let's face it, we got into crypto for mad gains. Let's not be messing around. But if you're in it and you're still in it, then you probably hope by now that you realise the real end game here is about being in control of your own finances, and that has a big kick on to how governments will collect taxes or won't collect taxes, or how they'll use money if they can't just infinitely print their own money. So most people come into crypto thinking, when can I get in? When can I get out and cash out? Ultimately, once they're in for a little while, they realise, hey, I don't want to get out. I actually understand it more and more. So the way we can make that happen faster is by working together.
Yep, getting more people into the network, the value of the network increases. So it's all that stuff, all that Metcalfe's law stuff as well. Jexer, we don't want to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's important to sort of lead people down the right channels.
Yep.
And with Hex, I agree. I mean, I understand. I just love the stuff. It's great, and I just want to share it. That's all. There's no ulterior motive about why. It's the same with the channel. We just saw that the gatekeeping and some of the other things that were going on that were harming the community, not just the Hex community, the broader crypto community, because people, when they lose their money in scams and things like that, then they leave with a sour taste in their mouth and they don't come back, and we don't want that. It's like we all encourage each other to do well. We're not trying to get in before you so that I can get it. It's game theory, but it's not like that sort of thing. I don't think. Anyway, maybe I'm naive, but that's how I do it. But I like getting paid to hold to stake the coins that holds the price up, and it feeds into that positive feedback loop. I like that. It's good for everyone. It's good for the ecosystem, and obviously everyone's got a different point of view. That's just, and you can play the game however you like. That's just how I approach it, and it seemed to work fine. Yeah.
I think a lot of the other communities are starting to see the beauty in Hex, and we've got so many new hexagons, and they're loud. They tweet a lot. You can't keep up with all their tweets, and they're seeing how successful all the hexagons are being, so they want to get into it. They want to get on board. Hex is a little bit different from just being on an exchange. They want more information. So I think also we've got to give out more information on how to get started and, you know, where they can go, give them opportunities and avenues where they can go if they need assistance. Because it's not, I don't think it's easy at all.
No.
You know, promote it instead of rubbishing other communities. Promote it and say, come with us.
That works both ways as well, because I'm pretty sure, and I'm guilty of this as well. I've been flinging my fair bit of shit around about Cardano and not having smart contracts and the like. And that community is massive. It is huge.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Eric Wall tweet where he rated the worst communities?
I'm over that too.
It was a ranking of the worst communities. Cardano was number 1 and Hex was number 2. And I said, you better make Hex number 1 because we're always first in everything.
I just ignore that guy. What a twat. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I know, right?
That's from his perspective, hey?
I think it's a compliment. It's like it's the communities that post the most on Twitter. It's that ranking rather than you could have replaced the word worst with most active.
Yeah.
Most active on Twitter.
Yeah.
But
you know, because he's probably just sick of seeing the same coins getting shilled to him in his comments.
That's not his job, though. He can't be is that like what he does in his spare time, or is that his job to do shit like that? Like,
my comment was just it was engagement bait, because he picked like the biggest, most active communities to list.
So fishing for engagement,
and that's all it comes down to for him now, I think.
But what's so good about engagement? Why do people want engagement so much?
I don't know what. Yeah,
Like,
does it stroke his ego? I don't know. Like
he's not selling anything. Like he's got his job as a hedge fund.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For someone that's running a hedge fund, he spends a lot of time going back and forth
and hanging out on Twitter.
And that's all marketing for them. Like they have someone probably that markets for them. That's why they've got so many subscribers and so many followers on Twitter, and their engagement is part of that business side of their personality. Like, you know, Overwatch, Rakam Rochelle, when he's like got a lot of money. He went from like homeless to billionaire, right? Now he started off, no shit, with like 600 or 700 followers when I started following him. I looked the other day, he had over 7,000, right? He's been posting a lot of tweets with Lambos and all these expensive things. And I said to him, man, you know, how did you get like so many followers so fast? And he said, I had the marketer from Chicken Filet help me with my social media, and now it's pumping. So, you know, you can bring people in to actually direct you on how to raise your follower accounts and get engagement. It's all run like a business.
But hang on. But does that mean that they're just buying followers?
Well, you know, you can buy them. You can buy them. But
I think he meant more just like the guy would have given him tips on.
Yeah. But like that's an incredible growth. That's an insane amount of growth,
isn't it?
That is people have that as a job. That's their job is to curate your social media for you and get that engagement and bring that in. That's a thing. So
of course,
but
I imagine there's buying followers. There's part of this. All I'm thinking, and because that just sounds to me. I mean, I've got no idea. Maybe it's all fully legit, and those were actually 5 or 6,000 real people. The space of a few weeks, found him and wanted to follow him. So,
I don't think you. I don't want
to put flat out.
I think if you know someone that knows how to play the social media game, you wouldn't be paying for followers.
Nah, I don't reckon either. And you know what? Like you can promote them anyway. You can pay a fee and promote your tweets as well. You know, there's no way you'd pay for followers. They'd be real people. It's just the way it's structured to bring that business to you or get those eyeballs on your Twitter.
7,000 people is not a lot of people.
Nah.
In social media land,
are you
it's very
serious?
easy to get.
That's hate.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm not saying that's not a good achievement. What I'm saying is, out of the total amount of people on social media, 7,000 is not a lot. So if you're getting in front of a lot of eyeballs,
no, it's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, well, I think
the ocean really.
Yeah, but if the strategy's right, that's 7,000, 10x, 20x, 30x in not long either.
So what do you reckon? Where are we going, Tangent? What's your how are you? What's the sentiment with you, mate? Like I know you look at the charts and you're in the thick of it. You're looking at the hex charts, beautiful thing. what are you sort of like? I guess short to just say like what's your outlook? I mean, is it going to be?
It is a delicious looking chart.
Is there going to be another dip or where? Surely.
I was basically
I
just zooming out.
asked a silly question, but you know, like sounds like a silly question, but you know.
I'm getting rid of this triangle, by the way. I don't like it. But yeah, like on the daily, looks bullish. I like this shit.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, I think we're doing great. As in, you know, the trend is definitely still upwards. And you guys know my opinion that overall, the thing that is the biggest thing for me at the moment is new all-time highs are bullish as. That is bullish as. And we are basically, for the last several days, we've either been making new all-time highs or consolidating at the highs. So that in itself just keeps me very bullish. And then, like Jexer and Blue Bum were saying, all of the sort of like looking at the short time frames is more just sort of like over analyzing and just out of interest and for fun, really.
Yeah, have a go at it. Like, I mean, banging on about delayed gratification hasn't taken that long, has it? Really? Come on. Can you believe we're having the conversation? We're sitting just at around 25 cents US for Hex coin.
I've been getting my mind blown since probably about like 12, 13 cents. Everything above that has just been absolutely mind blowing.
It's mind blowing.
It's
like, absolutely
like it. It's never seen anything like it.
It's crazy.
Yep.
It is so crazy. Hey guys, we're going to try something a little bit different right now, just for a couple of minutes. We are going to online react to this video right now. So let me know. See if I can get this to work properly. Oh, no. Hang on.
I've already said
Take two.
Yeah, I know, but other people haven't, so we're gonna see.
Oh, I got me drumsticks.
It looks like it's gone.
React to it, all right.
It has gone. Hang on, 1 second. It has gone. Just bear with my technical. There we go. We're going to start this again, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. The guy smashes into the blue head girl.
Did he trip or did he try to grab her?
I think he tripped and smashed into her. And
serious looking dude.
He reminds me of someone.
I wonder who he reminds you of.
Oh, there we go.
Who could it be?
Is that Markable?
Get him over here. I want to speak to this young man.
What is even happening? Like, are they at?
What is it? Day 43? Oh, get out of here. I stick my hex.
He's like, I'm getting a Lambo, yeah.
So we know what Markable's doing with his free time now.
There we go.
Hey guys, I reckon we need to get that guy in the hex. What do you reckon?
Sure.
I reckon that guy would be fun.
I think so.
It'd be fun at a conference, eh?
Do you reckon it's Markable or he's bro?
They
might be triplets.
That's Markable's dad, if it's anything.
He could be a
Isn't
triplet.
he?
We don't know.
Isn't he? Yeah.
It's like 21 years old, that video. It's from the year 2000.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's Markable's dad.
Maybe it's his granddad.
That was interesting.
We have the
Where
goods
is
on
that?
our
Europe
show.
somewhere.
I thought you were going
What
to do
else
like
is
a
happening?
speed
What else is
round,
happening around the
OG.
grounds? What
Yeah,
else?
that
What else have you
was
seen?
that was
Who's got
that
something
was actually
interesting?
in Germany in the year 2000 at, I think it was called Fuck Parade.
In Berlin.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh,
Yep.
righto.
Back in the day.
That was another little bit of useless information I didn't need today. 43, but thank you. Hey,
Um,
what are we talking
Dude.
about?
so
I think it
You'll
might have
be
been
buying
the
the
Love
ticket to
Parade.
Fuck Parade 2022, mate. I'm 100%
Oh, mate,
certain.
I don't have to. I don't even have to buy tickets, mate. It's at my house.
Did you hear what the Mango Junkie said? That guy sued the person who posted that video.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
You
I heard
can't
he
sue.
did.
If someone's in public and you get filmed, you can't sue the person for filming you if you're in public.
There's a
Love
There you go.
Parade
article.
was called. That's
Love
better.
Parade.
That's a little bit more.
23,000 euro, I think he got.
Oh, he actually
appropriate.
did. He sued him, and what did he sue him for?
The guy who took the video posted it on YouTube, and then the dancer guy the guy's called the Techno Viking.
Yeah.
The Techno Viking sued the guy who took the video
For what?
for 23,000
No, but
euros.
on what basis? Do you know? Or
I don't know, but he got 23,000 euro
Yeah.
out of it.
I'm skeptical.
Skeptical hippo eyes.
that sums you up, Bluey. I'm skeptical.
Hey, well, you got to ask. You got to, got to make sure you're
Dude,
Where
on
are those
your
fines,
new
Steph?
avatar needs to be skeptical hippo eyes.
Make sure you're going to the right party. That's right. The Hex party, of course. Get there late.
So,
get there late.
T-Bird had a question from way back at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, the liquidity token.
Yeah, I
on
can't
the
find
Pulse
the.
network. Yeah, it
Can I
was
just read
basically
out this
what are
one
our
from
thoughts?
Duke of Booze? Lol, delayed gratification in crypto is usually about 1 month.
and lucky you only have to wait 6 weeks in Hex, and
Yeah.
you usually get a new all-time high.
Well, what do we see? A doubling every 47 days on average.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Even better.
Unbelievable.
I want another double just so that we can do the whole sold it on a double or sold it on a. You could have sold it on a double, sold it on a double, sold it on a double. Like, we need that length. 13. Is the next one 13 double?
We're in the midst of our 12th now.
12. Okay.
How many
Yeah.
days into the 12th?
Well, I think this is pretty much. So it must be from what?
Right?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but hang on. Let's see if it's on that sheet.
I think Richard's tweet said it was 20. The 23 cent was the double. Was the
24 cent.
was
Looks
it
like
24
the double.
cents?
Yeah, 24.7 is the double, and yeah,
Nice.
so on to our next one. It will be at 49.47.
Woo! So 46
So-
days?
Yeah, so that's our 12th double. Yep. So we've done that. On
That's
to the next
crazy.
one. So yeah, 47 more days. You might have another double.
So mid-November,
That'd
we
be
hit
nice.
50 cents.
See, Christmas will come early this year.
17th. Well, going on this 17th of October.
October, sorry. I think a bit bearish, wasn't
Nice.
Well, hey, we're a lot of crybabies out there. And they call the little crybabies wrecked hex sellers. So if you sold your hex for like 5 cents or between 5 and 10 cents, but no, hey, you can't. Look, I don't put it out there. I'm not trying to stir people up because like there's reasons, there's ways, you know. But yeah, the best way to do it is to like stake it so that you don't have that temptation, because we've all got that weakness in us, that feeble hands thing.
Done.
Where if we, want to sell that hex, but I wouldn't, because every time you sell it, it seems to just keep going up. That little dip from yesterday wasn't very good, was it? I didn't think. It just was like, nah, and then just kept going up.
Yeah, no, it's looking pretty
What
solid.
do I know? That's my technical analysis for you.
All
Fundamental.
right, so we think we're going to get a version of Pancake Swap. Is that true? We think we're going to get a fork of Pancake Swap. Is that what the general
I hope so.
consensus is?
That's
Oh,
the
what?
sound. Yeah, that's what it
Something
sounds
like
like.
So, and along with Pancake Swap comes all the yield farming. So obviously you can provide liquidity.
Yeah,
so
you've got pools and
so you got your pools,
yield farms.
Yep.
debt.
So if you have got a swag of pulse that you've gone into the sacrifice chamber and you've got a swag of pulse, and hopefully now we're all a little bit more educated on the fact that holding is not a bad thing to do. So having a bit more of the diamond hands. So what do you do with your pulse whilst you're holding it? So in terms of income plays, we've got staking. So that's one avenue.
Delegating.
So delegating. So delegating for a return. We don't know how that's going to work, whether it's going to be...
Yeah, Richard hasn't confirmed which is something I really want to know, is if the delegated stakes can also get slashed or whether it's only actually the node operator.
I would be surprised.
Me too. But he just said that he wasn't going to confirm it yet
I'd be very surprised if that would be the case. But
because it's outside of your control, right? As a person delegating, you'd be getting slashed for something that's not your fault.
Yep.
I guess Richard could argue that it's your fault for
you.
choosing a shit validator, but
but you can only go on what you know about that validator, which is how they act in the community and what they say they're doing in the background. Now, you can't go bang on the server room door and see what they've got running and how they've got running it, and you just don't know. So it would be
you wouldn't lose your pulse. You would not lose your pulse. You would only potentially lose some of the fees that were going to get paid to you.
Yeah. So you would maybe lose out on yield.
Yeah. So I think that is a likely thing. I think
you can actually get your principal slashed if you're a bad actor, like the actual person running.
Yeah. If you're a validator, I agree.
If you're the validator,
yeah. No, I totally agree.
If you're delegating.
Okay, so someone's asked about LP tokens. So let's go through.
I'll give you one reason why he might have to make it that the people delegating also get slashed. Is that
their principal? What their principal?
Slashed on principal as well. Is that otherwise you can just start a validate. You can set up a validator node, and then I could just go to another wallet and delegate stake to my own node from a different wallet.
What do you mean?
So I could create a validator with a small amount of pulse staked, so that I'm only risking that getting slashed, and then I could just go to a different wallet and delegate to my own node.
Yeah,
I think delegators can't get slashed.
But wouldn't you have to be in the top?
Guys, all we're talking about is the amount of pulse that you get for whatever ETH you're holding. That's going to be
no. We're talking about the validator rewards.
Hang on. So whatever free pulse you get from the ETH that you have, that's the pulse that gets taken back.
No. We're talking about something completely different. This is not the retraction of the pulse that gets airdropped for holding ETH. We're talking about the pulse that is staked if you're either a validator or delegating to a validator. So it could be pulse that you bought, it could be pulse that you got airdropped. It's not to do with the airdropped pulse. Okay. It's not,
It's just you're staking it with a validator. I would be very surprised if delegators got hammered for that.
Yeah. I'm hoping so too.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too hung up on that. What I want to sort of go through is I want to try and get to T-Bird's point. So in terms of plays that you can do on Hex to get gains on gains, we've got staking on validator nodes. Then we've got providing liquidity into various pools. So you're going to have P-Hex, and you're going to have Pulse, and you could chuck that into a liquidity pool and get the liquidity provider fee from that. So that's your initial gain. Then we can go farm those LP tokens. So when you deposit your liquidity into a pair, whether it's say Pulse and P-Hex, you get given a token that represents the amount of liquidity you've deposited. You can then take that token and yield farm it. And this was T-Bird's question. So it looks like we're going to get another token released from the Richard Hart camp. which will be some sort of reward token, whether it's a governance token or whatever you want to call it.
For
That will
liquidity
be
fund.
but that will be a separate token, because it's generally not. It wouldn't be a good idea to use Pulse or P-Hex or anything as that reward. You would want to create a entirely separate token that would get rewards. And then the thing I don't know, which I need to find out a little bit more about, is syrup pools, which are another level upon that. Now, I'm not sure
What pool?
Syrup pools. So if you're wanting to play these games, go check out Pancake Swap. And there's a doc section. Pancake Swap is awesome. Like, the front user interface is awesome. It's got the farming, it's
intuitive. It's easy to use.
It
looks clean.
Yep, it's Uniswap done really well. Like a nice polished front end for Uniswap with all the.
I remember the first time I ever used it, I was like, "Damn, this is what Uniswap should have been like." This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if we're talking about LP tokens and farms and syrups and all that sort of stuff, and that just means absolutely nothing to you, now's the time to bone up on that sort of stuff. And if you go to Pancake Swap and scroll right to the bottom, there's a docs section. So it's under, I think there's a more button you can press or a more menu item you can press, and there's docs, and it goes through all of this. So learn about that now, because this is what Pulse is going to be. There's going to be all these opportunities, and if you know how to play the game correctly, there's going to be ways you can put your Pulse to good use and get those gains on gains on gains.
Right, and so you don't know what the syrup.
I don't want to talk about it now because I haven't had a chance to do any reading on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it seems to be some sort of compounding interest type mechanism, which
like automatically compounding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that is
there's only one pool that does automatic compounding. It's the Cake one, but the rest of them are manual.
There's someone Avalanche that do automatic, I think, as well.
Nice.
So what you just said then, Tangent's a good one to look at, is the BNB Cake pool. That would be the equivalent of Pulse and whatever we call our governance token for the Pulse swap or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Hey, Jack, can I just ask, that Yearn Finance, is that similar to yield farming?
That's it. That was the original
yield aggregator. Farming. It's like a yield farming aggregator.
Yeah. And is that what we're going to have similar to that, something on Pulse?
I don't know if it'll be similar to that. Same sort of concept, but that one does a lot of routing through different smart contracts to generate the yield.
I think that particular project, Sammy, would be done by a third party. Either Wi-Fi would come over, or someone else would recreate something similar.
Yeah,
but Jex is talking about the ones that will be done by Richard and his team.
All right,
but there would be
that would be right, the more basic level shit.
So Tangent's on the right path for that. Someone else, whether it's the Wi-Fi team comes across and operates on Pulse, or someone else steps into that position and runs something similar. Yeah.
Hey, we've got a good question in the chat here.
Yep.
How can you invest a lot into Hex and receive enough staking rewards to live from each month? Aren't stakers
depends on a lot of things.
Getting payouts?
No, it's simple. The simple thing is you set up ladders. Simple. You set up staking ladders. So if you want to be paid each month, then set up a stake fund coming out each month.
Oh yeah, good answer.
Okay, so it depends on how much you want to get paid. If you want to make $10,000 a month, then you have to put up enough capital to be able to do the $10,000 a month if you want to do short stakes. So that would be a substantial amount of money at this point in time, $1 million, $2 million or something like that to generate that sort of...
Even then, it's not guaranteed because the price of Hex could drop, right? So...
That's correct. True. Yeah. But your exposure is only a 30-day period. Yep. So although Hex does move quickly, you've got a pretty limited exposure window. 30 days is not a massive window. But is that the optimal way to do it? Well, no. What Bluey's talking about with the staking ladders is the better approach, where you can achieve future income by staking out longer, using less to stake out longer, So you get more bang for your buck. You get more firepower by going out longer. But obviously, you've got to delay your gratification.
Yeah, I think maybe something that might help with that is if you didn't have any ending for, say, the first year, so you keep living the same way that you've been living for 1 year, so that the soonest stake is like a year away, and then it's every month from there. So you're not doing these turbo short stakes that don't get the longer bonus.
Yeah. You're right. The big kicker is so the interest rate we get 1% per month is awesome. That is fantastic. And if you had enough capital to pile in and you wanted to play that short game, you could. But you've just seen at the beginning of this stream, we talked about where the price of HEX could go in a year. So that is the real kicker, is if you can delay that gratification for, like Tangent said, 1 year. So if you can if you can manage to at least do that, that's game changing then, because you're getting not only the interest returns, but you're getting the amplification of the US dollar appreciation on HEX as well. And that's where it gets pretty exciting.
Does anyone know what Just Lend is? DJ Paulie Wood thinks it's a great idea.
Heard of it, but not enough to comment on it.
Anyone ideas?
What's the short code?
It's called Just Lend.
Just Lend. No, I haven't heard of it.
Hang on. So we've got a question here. What's the percentage payout for 30-day stakes? Well, I think for a year at the moment, we're about 13% for a year at the moment if you just stake for 1 year. However, if you stake for 10 years, you're going to get closer to, what are we at 10 years?
It'd be about the 50%, would it? I guess around there. I haven't checked recently, but it'd be around that, I think.
So you're going to get more than 1% for a 1 month stake.
Yeah.
But then you have to weigh up. You really do have to weigh up the cost of doing that on the ETH network. And if
that's right, yeah, and that's what that strategy works if you have a massive amount of capital that you want to deploy, and you wanted to be able to generate income to live off of. Most people aren't in that position, so that's what HEX is really good at. Is if you can delay your gratification, and Bluey says this all the time with HEX, it's just the time in the system. You've got to do your time, and you can come in now, and you may think you're late now, but you're not. All you've got to do is serve the same amount of time as what the other guys before you have done, and most of those guys have done nearly 2 years to see the gains they have. Can you see yourself delaying for 2 years? And if you can, that's when you'll get the crazy gains. That's when you'll be doing your HEX flexing and stuff like that, because you've invested the time and you've delayed that gratification and let your investment actually grow. That's what most people don't do in crypto.
And locking in the T-shares now, because the price of those T-shares in HEX terms will just go up. They don't go down; they just go up.
Oh, did we mention that you're going to get double your HEX?
Hey, you guys that got in early, like the beginning, you only have 13 more years to go.
Yeah, that's it.
This is true.
You're a glass half girl kind of
Yeah,
glass
right.
half full kind of girl.
Hey,
the sooner you get in, the sooner you serve your time, you'll get the benefits.
imagine how much T-shares will be if we hit that $136 mark by next October.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it'll
The
be M
T-shirt
shares.
price is crazy.
Be B shares or M shares by then.
No.
So if you've probably heard of the thing called Big Payday, and you may have felt like you missed out on that
You
by
did.
not being in early enough. and you did. That's been and gone. Now you've got take 2 of that now.
Blue bum, ruthless. Yeah, you missed it. There was only
You
one.
did miss that. Don't miss the next one. You are now getting a take 2 of Big Payday. That's essentially
Big
what's
payday
happening.
number 2 was the pool
Oh, shit,
sacrifice.
this is like a big payday.
This is big pay.
It is better than a big payday because it
It's like
is
a big
better than
payday.
big payday.
Crazy.
This is better than Big Payday because it's guaranteed double.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be staked. Big payday, you had to be staked.
And if you got him before big payday, you're not only getting the big payday again as well as the big payday. Like you're getting double big payday.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's so exciting, isn't it?
It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Just
when-
then the kind of like Venus platform on BSC. What's Venus?
So, we're going to have a fair bit of learning to do, I think.
Yeah, Venus
There's-
platform.
I think-
yeah.
Yeah.
You know how you were saying pancake swap's a good thing to sort of like go and see that one aspect of what might be over on Pulse. It's also a good way to learn about using those custom RPCs to change what network you're on.
Definitely.
So, because that's what you're going to have to do to get across to the Pulse network or to have MetaMask recognize the Pulse network. So, practicing that now is a good idea as well.
Yeah.
And,
So
and
if you've
that's
never
just until they make the wallet, they fork a wallet. Once they fork a wallet, it will just
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess that if he makes his own version of MetaMask, it's probably going to default to the Pulse network, right? But it's still a good thing to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, if you want to see a good example of what a custom-made MetaMask might look like, check out Binance's their extension, their Chrome extension, because that's what that exactly is. It's has a look and a feel like MetaMask, but it's restricted to Binance Chain, Binance Smart Chain, maybe Ethereum. Maybe, not sure about that, but it's very limited. But yeah, a good look and feel. And they've done actually something that I only realised today. They actually allow you to connect your exchange account as a wallet into that MetaMask as well.
Oh, no shit!
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yep. So you see you know how you've got your deposit address.
Does that mean so does that mean you're holding your own private keys on the exchange?
No. They've got some linkage between their exchange, so your exchange wallet that you have.
They've just coded it so you can.
Well, they're just using the exchange as an oracle.
No. It's
I think you're kind of just like logging into your Binance account through that wallet.
That's right. So when you go to your Binance account, if you wanted to send an asset to your Binance account, whether it was Ethereum or an ERC20 token, you've got your own address in Binance, your own ETH address that you send things to. So basically what they're doing is for their Binance network, which is also an ETH address, or ETH compatible, I should say, they're exposing that into MetaMask. So you see it as my Binance account and it's exposed in MetaMask. Plus then you can link your Trezor or your Ledger to it. And it's like a default account like MetaMask has. So it's a pretty slick setup. So if you want to see what Pulse could look like and what the things it could do, go tinker with Pancake Swap and Binance. I'm not saying go put your stuff on Binance. I'm not saying that. Saying go tinker with the
just as just to play around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I will admit that's actually pretty cool. I imagine that if Richard's making a MetaMask equivalent, he would make it that you can custom add any other EVM chain. You know what I mean? Because he's all about the open source, and he wants that interoperability to improve Pulse's value prop and that sort of thing. Yeah, Jex is laughing at what I was laughing at before.
Yeah. I was wondering why everyone had a smile on their face. I realized.
Isn't it funny on streams when you start laughing at something in the comments, but the person who's talking is not cracking jokes, and they're just like, what? Price is doing well, 24.6 cents.
Did someone comment on that comment you've got up there about the market cap thing?
Go for it, Jex.
No.
Oh no, I was too busy reading chat. I wasn't sure if you've already spoken about that.
Yes, insane, not impossible.
I like that answer.
Yeah,
Efficient and correct.
Yep. Summed it up very nicely.
So where are we right now?
The comment I made on Twitter when someone said that exact same thing was, what if market cap is just an illusion? So we've all we've all been brought up that is the premium way to rate a crypto. And what if it's not?
To compare cryptos.
To compare cryptos. And what if it's not? What if that is the shittiest way to do it? Given what the way these assets behave, and
well, you can't compare them to in price because it's different depending on how many of the actual things they are. So it makes sense that you would compare them via market cap because that's the closest.
Used to make sense.
It is better than price. It is way better than price. That's true.
And so
way better than just using price. That would be completely random.
So what other metric would we use besides market cap? Alphabetical order?
Yeah. The only one I come up with is total value locked.
Yeah, but then
but for a lot of coins, that's a fake lock. Yeah,
it's definitional, and it's like how locked. Like Hex.
The volume can be faked. TVL can be faked. Market cap can be faked, or manipulated by just having
the price. Just the price can't be. So market cap is actually a pretty good measure to compare chains, really. Like it's not great and it's misleading, but it devoid of any other metric. Maybe users, daily users, active users. I don't know. You want to know what the price is, and so market cap makes sense to rank them that way.
Adoption's pretty good.
Yeah, any metric that indicates adoption.
Because what makes crypto go up is the network effect primarily, and people buying more than selling. So that's probably what you should be looking at.
And the price going up.
So I'm saying, so price going up. So you're looking at price, and you're looking at adoption, really, or growth.
If there was a sensible answer to this question, someone would have already made a website that ranks the coins that way, and it would be popular as fuck. So I think that's an indicator that there isn't an easy answer to this question.
No. So there are sites.
So you've got to look at a combination
that sort of ranking, and what they look at, and this is because it's very, very project specific. So they check things like GitHub commits, wallet growth, price, things like that. But for Hex, and I watched a guy on YouTube the other day banging on how Hex wasn't doing anything. It was a useless project because there's no commits on GitHub. So
the code's complete.
You don't have to do anything. Nothing needs to be done. Therefore, it fails.
You can't make commits. It's fucking locked.
So it doesn't fly well on that particular metric, and so there's all these flaws in the way ranking sites rank things that unless you understand more about the project, you're not seeing the
you're right. Each project has like unique aspects to it that either make metrics irrelevant or very important, etc. Yeah.
Sorry, I dropped out, guys. I just had to go and reset that silly white plastic box that the Australian taxpayer paid for. It was really annoying.
What did you do to that white box?
I had to reset it. Yeah, I turned it off.
Don't encourage you.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you got it sorted out.
I thought you'd gone to do some gardening, mate.
Well, glad I got back in time to tell Chloe I'll come get you the Black Hawk down. Don't worry about that. Go and see her. But hey, we must be coming up to time, boys and girls. What do you reckon?
Almost on 2 hours.
You guys use marathon streamers here. Like, I get tired. Like, it's past my bedtime.
Tangent and Blue Bum have been streaming for 6 hours today.
Oh
my!
You're doing God's work. Hey, come on.
Just having a chat.
Tangent, did you go for 6 hours, man?
Including this stream, it would have been including the stream. Yeah.
I was so tired today. I had to have a snooze, otherwise I wouldn't have made this stream tonight.
Tangent.
You guys need a Red Bull. Let's go. Hey, my day's just getting started, so.
Awesome.
Tangent's planning on being the Max Kaiser of Hex. They need practice.
Tam
He's
is
practiced.
way better looking. Thank you.
Max Kaiser self claims that he's got the best legs in crypto.
Oh, God.
We both know that's not true. We both know that's not true.
Thank you, Sammy. That's an awesome compliment. Yeah, that's he's joking. He was comparing himself because you know how there was that model that when the Bitcoin had the race car, there was the Bitcoin race car, and there was some model that did like photo shoot with it or something. He was just saying like that he's got better legs than her, and, and that he used to do pole dancing in some club somewhere. I'm sure it's all joking. He said stuff that's just deliberately outlandish, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I wonder what happens if it's on the Hex train.
What?
Max Kaiser.
Day 43, I just put a link to the video I was just talking about where the guy was saying Hex was trash because it didn't have any Git commits. Someone was asking for it in chat. I can't post into chat. It doesn't let me put links.
Oh, yeah. Links can only be done by the host.
Sorry, Chloe, what were you going to say?
Oh, well, speaking of looks of people, so you guys know Judge Judy really has a booty on her. Like, because all you ever see is her top half. Since we all stream, you only see her faces and stuff. Well, she's always behind her, whatever it's called. Yeah. And if you actually see her, she's like...
Right.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They need to change that camera angle.
Right? Anyways.
She looks very, very fit in the face when you see her. Hey?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Isn't she like one of the richest women in the world? Like one of the best, highest earners in like the world?
I guess she'd be up there, right?
Yeah, she's
she
like,
with like Oprah and...
yeah, for sure.
Is her show still going?
Judge Nudie. That's funny.
Hey, someone is saying in the chat that we're 25.7.
Oh, really?
No.
No, I don't see that.
Not on my chart.
24.5.
I see
Text Vision.
24.5 as well.
T-Shares, where are you looking, mate?
TJ's looking to the future. He's at
Oh,
our
that
everyone.
Yes.
Maybe he needs to get some glasses.
So,
Hey, we need some. Yeah, thank you.
so
I was gonna say,
tangent.
we need some.
Maybe they're talking about where the price recently pumped to. There is a wick up to like 24.8.
Oh, really? Oh, look, webcams, chat room, hot girls and boys in the house.
So Aussie Hex, that's Judge Judy's contract was $425 million this year.
We need to moderate.
Fuck.
Bloody
Whoa.
hell!
Wow.
Fuck.
Well, Charlie Sheen,
That's more than Richard Hart got for fucking from sacrifices. What the shit? That makes the sacrifice set look weak.
Charlie Sheen used to get $8 million
The value of the staking class.
for 3.5 men. That's a lot of money per episode.
Yeah, a lot of those numbers though. A lot of those numbers are exaggerated
Hmm.
for
I heard
marketing
so
purposes.
today. I heard the Wiggles make 45 mil a year.
Not bad.
I'm going to
Jeez.
need some more t-shirts.
Yeah, right.
What were you about to say, Jackson?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. When you've done your technicals,
Yeah.
that retracement we've had back to 21, that was a retest of our all-time high, right on the knocker, wasn't it? So
Yeah, pretty much. The first break to that. The first break went to like, oh shit, wait, where are we at? So there was this one here that was like, looks like around just 20.7.
Yeah.
And then I guess like the wicks do look different from chart to chart. I've noted, like I've just noticed.
What are you on there? A 5 minute or something?
This is 15 minute. Yeah. So
right. Okay.
I'll just go hour.
Yeah. So it looks like this move we've just done was a perfect back test of So we broke through that 21.5, went up to the 24 sort of mark, 25 sort of mark, came back tested 21 perfectly. And
this
now
level here. Yeah. That looks pretty sweet. 21.5. I probably did have a line in there, but I just decided to delete a bunch of, because I just had too many support lines in that were low time frame. So I just kind of like cleaned the chart up. But yeah, that's definitely a level.
So that's looking pretty strong, to be honest. Like so we broke all-time high, came back, retested perfectly, and now we're back up testing that all-time high with that triangle you were talking about.
Yeah. We absolutely have been climbing in this very, very steady and consistent way. So, like, these pullbacks mean that we're not just floating in the sky about to crash huge amounts. We're building support levels as we go up with these continuous pullbacks.
Yep. So I made a call of 28 by sort of the 7th of September. And then we might get beyond that, I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's this arrow. I forget who said, someone in the stream today said this price, so I just put the arrow in. I forget who it was. And this is just under 28 cents. In fact, oh no, that's by like tomorrow. So Jex has got this price, but in about a week. Yeah, like that's very reasonable. I mean, if it takes that long, it's going to break my parabola, but that's okay.
Well, let's go with yours then.
Yeah, I'll grab a high time frame. I'll show you guys this parabola that we've been watching. So see this gray line through here?
Yeah.
That's nice.
We're basically on that thing. So there's touch points down here, through here, here, nya, this wick here, and then we've basically just been right on it through here. So, I mean, it might need a little bit of adjustment soon if we keep moving sideways, but this would be glorious if we start really accelerating up. Then what's this? This is like $1 by 3rd of October.
Cool.
That's what Finbear said.
Did you just say $1 by the 3rd of October?
Yeah, that's what this parabola says. Oh, it's not me; it's the parabola. I don't make the TA. I just report on it. Yeah, this parabola reckons $1 by the 3rd of October.
Nice.
I mean, I can back that off a little bit to get this price action inside the parabola. Yeah, that looks a bit better with all that recent price action, and now that's on the 12th of October.
Dang.
So I reckon we can wait that long for that, can't we?
Yeah, delayed. That comment, delayed gratification of about 1 month.
That'd fit in. So next, I've got the next double being 17th by our spreadsheet. Next double being 17th of the 10th to 50 cents.
17th of October.
So let's see what plays out.
Well, I could massage this parabola so that see where my cursor is now. That's the date and the price and time, the price and date that you're talking about, and I think we could probably fit that in. Much more than that would be a problem, though.
Yep. So Machiavelli, he's just chucked in $2.01 by the 12th, so by the end of December, and that lines up bang on with that spreadsheet. So yeah, everyone's. Oh no, he's saying $2. I had $1. Oh no, by the 20th of January, $2.
What if that parabola keeps going up until December?
Yeah.
Then we're in trouble.
So regardless of what happens, everyone's now talking in dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Holy.
think about that. Before we were talking in cents.
Sub-cent.
Sub-cent, then 10 cent was a big hurdle, which actually wasn't. now moves are going to be insane moves because we're up at a price point now where a 20% move doesn't just move us fraction of a cent. It moves us.
Yeah. It's just that log scale.
Yeah.
Did you see the tweet that had all the American coins, and it has a hex stamp for each one that hex price has achieved, and so there's only one left. So it's because it's got the 50-cent coin.
They have silver dollars there as well.
Do they use a dollar coin? Do they? I thought they used a dollar note.
No, they have special silver dollar eagles and stuff.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe it's not real currency. Maybe that's just like collector stuff.
No, we have dollar coins.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
And 50-cent pieces. They're huge.
Yeah, our 50s are huge as well.
Are they new, Chloe?
The dollar coins?
Yeah, and the 50s.
I don't think so. I think they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of new ones in the last year or so.
But they're not used a lot, are they? Like you don't.
Not really. Like very rarely. We even have $2 bills, which is kind of cool. I collect them.
We used to have a $2. They got rid of them.
Yeah.
You got $2 coin, Chloe.
Before plastic money, we had $2 notes.
I wish we would get rid of like pennies like Canada did because they're like,
$1
oh,
notes.
under $10, $9.99. Like, oh yeah, that's under 10.
We don't have
Like plastic money stays snapping half the time. You've seen that in Australia? They just.
Uh-uh.
I've never snapped one.
You can't rip it.
Yeah, you
I thought
can.
it's like you can. I thought it was like really difficult.
They can get torn. Like if there's a like the edge has been cut.
Yeah, then they'll
just
get
rip.
torn. Sure.
They can just rip.
But if you get one and you just try to rip it up, you can't.
Unless it's already ripped. Then
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Then you just sticky tape it back together. Come on, guys.
So we're about to get bounced, are we?
Yeah, I think we're almost there.
We've got a $200 gold coin, but it's actually worth a hell of a lot more than $200.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
In terms of its gold value.
Well, that, but yeah, and therefore the resale value. So it became kind of it's not something that people use to actually buy stuff, although it is official legal tender. But people just use it as a collector thing, and I think they're worth like when I looked, they were worth like heaps more than $200. Like it was like $300 or $400.
There's a €500 note.
Oh yeah.
So that's like worth like 800 or 900 Australian dollars.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you can go. I don't think you can go to the
I think
supermarket
they
and buy milk
deliberately
with that
undervalue the legal tender value that they put on precious metal coins. I think they deliberately like undervalue them so that there's no chance that if the price of the metal tanks, that you won't be able to just go and use it for legal tender that's worth more than the coin. But they really overdo it. They like really overdo it. Like the ratio is ridiculous.
Do you reckon that's why they got rid of 1 and 2 cent pieces?
No, because they weren't really like, as in, I think they just did that because it was just ridiculous carrying that shit around. I'm talking about the coins like you're talking about that are actually made out of real precious metals.
Well, 1 and 2 cent pieces are made out of copper. No?
Oh, were they made out of real copper and not an alloy?
Yeah.
Oh, there was some sort of alloy, but
No, they were copper.
Yeah, they were. But they would have had a bit of something else in them, probably.
Maybe,
not
yeah.
only copper. But, I mean, you probably could just melt them
Yeah,
down.
copper's weak as piss, right? Like I think if it was a copper coin, if it was pure copper, you'd be able to just
bendy and
it out
stuff,
of it.
hey? Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure with those like coins, if you look at the dollar value of them, of like silver and gold coins, it'll always be like the legal tender value will always be significantly less than the precious metal value. I used to collect coins, and now I'm like, when I started making crypto gains, I was like, maybe I should buy some like gold coins or something, and then I was like, I just don't want that shit. Like, it was Ivan on Tech that convinced me not to do it. He had this video where he was like, if you really want to prove to someone that it's really gold, you have to roll it out. Like, to prove it. Like you can do sort of tests to try and check whether it's real gold that is non-destructive testing, like NDT. But if you really want to know for sure, you have to fucking roll the gold out into like a thin thing and then test it. So I'm like, fuck that noise. That is ridiculous. Whereas on the blockchain, you literally verify it with the click of a button. It's like, is this real Bitcoin? Yup.
I thought someone might have gone to sleep on.
Guys.
No, I wasn't expecting that.
Hey, guys, it's been a good stream.
Yeah, that's been awesome, dudes.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for showing up. Thanks, Chloe. We really appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate you being on our thumbnail as well.
Thank you for using me.
Job. And
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone in chat for the good questions.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks, chat. And we look forward to seeing everyone next week on the Hex Late Show. And we'll just play you something as an outro. So everyone say goodbye and see you next time.
Bye.
See you.
See you guys. See everyone.